I went to school in the US, and I do remember as far back as 2003, I had a radio show. Funny enough, the people with my background in radio, they're seeing the other side, which is politics now. So it's quite funny. Funny enough, a friend of mine tells me, and honestly, I don't remember this, but she said that as far back as 2013, I used to say that I wanted to run for office. And they all used to laugh at me. I wonder what's wrong with this one. I didn't think I was going to be able to achieve it in Canada. I thought of it, I wanted it, but I wasn't sure. And I think that's why it's important for everyone to have mentors that believe in them. Sometimes you might not believe in yourself, but I always like to say, borrow the belief of other people and use it for yourself. If I had gone to some people and they had laughed and say, well, waiting to do this one, that type of thing, I probably would have dropped the ambition. I wasn't expecting it. In fact, I went to bed early that night because I didn't think that, I would win. Only 2 cities across Canada right now has created a newcomer strategy, opening a department that focuses exclusively on ensuring that newcomers not just settle down. Our focus is not on settling down, it's to help them thrive. Kitchener is growing at such a rapid pace. We have to do what we can to get ahead of it, so that we can do our part in ensuring that housing is affordable, and we're welcoming to our guests who are coming into our city. Frontline, those are the things that I enjoy doing. Now, we might not all agree on everything, and when you are leading 300,000 people, it's not everything you're going to agree on. You will have a please text first approach, and Nigerians don't believe in please text. They want to
they want to actually speak.
It's hard to explain. I have to explain it to you on the phone. But what people don't realize is if 10 people want to talk to me and each conversation is 10 minutes long, and the way we like to talk, where mommy call, daddy call, mom call, this one call, that, go to the point. In fact, just last night I was at an event, and I had to leave at a certain point because I'm asked to come in 2 hours later. I'm still waiting for my turn. But I've been up since 4 a.m. and it was 9 p.m. at that point, and I'm still not on the agenda, and I just had to walk out, unfortunately. And you will not hear that story. What you will hear is Ayo is hard to balance, and you do what you can to create boundaries. And when boundaries are not respected, then you have to make changes as needed. And take it from there. I remember there was a lady that would call and be asking for money a lot. She would just call, send message. Can you send me this money?
Excuse me. In this Canada, people are calling to ask for money. Are they calling from Nigeria, or they're calling from this Canada?
They're calling from people call and ask for money a lot.
Whoa.
People have asked me to help them pay school fees. They've asked for, all sorts of things. And somebody comes to me and says, oh, you are not supporting my business. But I have bought from 10 businesses. Already, but you're saying I'm not supporting your business. You are the 11th at the event, and I've just paid $30 at a different So you will only hear one side. Oh, he doesn't support businesses, or he doesn't help people. So it's just part of the. You have to be willing to. People will see you in different lights, and you just have to be fine with it. You just have to be comfortable with it, and stay focused, pursue purpose, and do the things that need to be done to be able to create opportunity.
Hi everyone, this is the Debo Taiwo Talk Show, now known as Candid Conversations with Debo. We are on to a new and exciting season, and in fact the very first episode for this brand new season 2 of Candid Conversations. Today I have on board a trailblazer and someone who has made a remarkable feat in the region of Waterloo and specifically in Kitchener as well. I'm happy and excited to have on board today today. Ayo Owodunni is the first Black councillor in the history of Kitchener in Ontario, and today is going to share with us, some of his past experiences, how he was able to get through elections to win that exalted position, and of course, we will get to know him better. Ayo Owodunni, you are welcome to Candid Conversations with Debo.
Thank you very much, Debo. It's such a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Indeed, it's such a pleasure to have you, and we're so excited to have you on board. We will just jump right into it. Ayo, we just want to know. Let's share a little bit about your background. Where did your story begin, and what brought you to Canada?
Well, I was born and raised in Lagos, Ojodu to be exact. I lived in Ojodu till 2013 before I got married, and then I moved to Aja area in Lagos. I was a radio personality for many years in Lagos. So I had a chance. I worked at Beat FM, Classic FM, started in production room. Then I moved over to being on radio. And then I went to Radio Continental. I started as a radio personality, and then I became a station manager over there.
Oh, interesting.
And from there, I started my consulting firm before I moved over to Canada in 2016.
Interesting.
So I've been in Canada now for 9 years.
For 9 years, interesting. So before we jump into your journey in Canada since 2016, so did you read mass communication in school? How did your journey into radio in Nigeria began?
Well, I went to school in the US, and I do remember as far back as 2003, I had a radio show at the radio station in my school in New Jersey.
Oh, interesting.
So I've always had a flair and should I say a desire on radio. So as far back as 2002, 2003, I had a show, but I didn't have a background in broadcasting. I just enjoyed it.
You just enjoyed it.
Yeah, so when I moved back to Lagos, I met a good friend, one of my church members. His daughter's name is Fade Ogunro, and Fade used to have a show then.
On Beat FM, I believe.
On Beat FM, and prior to Beat FM, she was actually at Radio Continental. I think it was like a Friday night show or something. I know I joined her for her Friday night show, and then I'd also, she was the one that actually connected me with Beat FM eventually. So that's where it started. But when I heard her on radio, I was like, I can do this.
Wow, that's
I know I've done it 10 years ago, but I can still do it.
Still had the passion and the zeal.
Yeah, the passion was still there.
Interesting. So, I mean, Beat FM was one of my favorite radio stations. Radio Continental, to your point. All of those radio stations I did really listen to because I grew up in Lagos as well. So, I mean, it's interesting to note that you have that other side of you that maybe a lot of us do not know.
Yeah, and funny enough, the people with my background in radio, they're seeing the other side, which is politics now. So it's quite funny how that works.
Exactly. Now we first saw the politics side of you before the radio part. Okay, that's interesting. Now, at what point did the desire to serve through politics became clear to you? I mean, you came into this country, to your point, as an immigrant in 2016. And obviously, within 6 years, you became you made the feat as becoming the first Black councillor in Kitchener. At what point did it become clear to you that you wanted to serve your people or the people of Canada in this region?
Well, funny enough, a friend of mine tells me, and honestly, I don't remember this, but she said that as far back as 2013, I used to say that I wanted to run for office. And they all used to laugh at me. I wonder what's wrong with this one. So this is as far back as in Nigeria. It was something that I always wanted to do. I don't remember it. And she would say, no, you said this. And I quote, I don't remember that at all. I do remember as far back as 2017, I just felt this was an opportunity to be able to give back to the community, serve the community in a different capacity. So I think I've always just served in the community. I remember growing up in with my grandma in Amunigo in Ibadan. My grandma was she was sort of like the elder of the community. Everybody came to her when they had problems or issues, family problems. Growing up in Ojodu, my mom owned her own school. I went to my mother's school, and a lot of the neighborhood kids or families will come. So I've been surrounded by leaders from the onset, community leaders in one form or another. So, in fact, my sister is a leader in her community, and my other sister has also run for office in Nigeria. So I feel like that whole concept of serving the community, leadership, has been sort of in the blood. We all just activated it in different ways.
Different ways, indeed.
And pursued it in different ways, but the same foundation and the same love and desire to give back to the community has been consistent all the way through.
Interesting. So but the reason why I actually asked specifically was, usually when you come into the country as an immigrant, of course, you schooled in the US prior, so it wasn't your first experience to the Western world, but you still come with a lot of challenges, right? I mean, it's still, migrating comes with its own challenges, trying to navigate, trying to integrate into the system, trying to, find your feet, finances, and everything. Did you feel, a little bit jittery at any point that this aspiration that you've always had, would you be able to achieve it?
Well, I didn't think I was going to be able to achieve it in Canada. I thought of it, I wanted it, but I wasn't sure. And I think that's why it's important for everyone to have mentors that believe in them. Sometimes you might not believe in yourself, but I always like to say, borrow the belief of other people and use it for yourself. Because most times we're always the last to know our strengths and our talents and our gifts. Those around us can see it very easily and quickly. If you ask 20 people, what are your strengths and gifts? They will have to think about it. Ask the friends around them. They can easily tell them because they're the ones that see it, expressing itself every day. So yeah, I thought about it. I wasn't sure. I reached out to a mentor, and I'm so grateful to him till today that he was the one that challenged and encouraged me and said, you should run. In fact, his words were, there's nobody more qualified to run. And that was very encouraging, and that gave me a little bit of hope. If I had gone to some people and they had laughed and say, well, wait till they do this one, that type of thing, I probably would have dropped the ambition and thought it was a ridiculous idea. So it's important. Many of us, you need to find people that believe in you. I've been mentored and coached by people that did not believe in me. And you can, from the way they talk, from the way they interact, you will know immediately, in the heart of your heart. But then there are those that are willing to put their name on the line. There are people that are willing to help you and push you out there. And that was what helped me out a lot. So I don't think, yes, I went through the struggles. Yes, I went through the challenges. But there were several people that were very supportive. I remember there was one lady, she heard me speak far back as 2017. She's the one that approached me and said, have you ever thought of running for office? And that was the beginning, because I think she was the one that ignited whatever was just sitting there. I started to talk to her, work with her. She's currently an MP now as well. Well, she was an MP then as well. So that she was very, very instrumental and helpful in showing me the path and challenging me in that way. So I think surrounding yourself with those types of people is very important.
Thank you so much for, sharing that piece there. Having to understand the importance of mentorship in an individual's life is so crucial. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, eventually you did contest and then you won the election. How did that moment make you feel? How did it make you feel personally, and even, repping the Nigerian flag in this region? How did that make you feel?
Well, it was exciting. It was humbling that the community was willing to give me a shot. So I was very grateful for that. I wasn't expecting it. In fact, I went to bed early that night because I didn't think that, I would win. But we've done all the work. We had pushed hard. We had followed the system and the process that was put in place. We implemented the strategy. probably not 100%, but we implemented the strategy, and we were quite happy and very excited when we saw the win. So yeah, it was a very joyful night and wonderful experience. Yeah.
Indeed, great. I mean, of course, you must have been super excited, especially as you didn't think or you weren't expecting to really win. And I'm sure you must have faced some challenges at the time when you were campaigning for office. Can you share with us what were some of the challenges that you faced during campaign at the time, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I would say, the challenges are always I would say for most people, the challenges are usually the same: getting volunteers, getting people to support you, getting people to believe in you, getting people to if you're supposed to knock on 10,000 doors, you can't do it by yourself. You need a team of people that are willing to do it with you, and those people are not getting anything out of it. It's not like, oh, if I win, I'll make you chief of staff, or like, it's none of that stuff. It's just simply friends, colleagues who want to see you succeed, that surround you. So you need to have people like that around you to be very helpful. So I would say, yeah, raising funding, raising that. And we had no experience. We've never done this before. I didn't have a political background. So we just had to, with the limited knowledge that we had, we went out there and we tried it out to see what is possible, what can be done. And yeah, I was quite excited that's at the end of the day, it all worked out. But yeah, the challenges, I would say, usually for newcomers coming into the space, it's usually the same set of things. Not enough money. The connection is not there. You're probably working a full-time job where your boss give you time to go and campaign. All of those things are the things that come up regularly.
Of course. And then talking about elections still, since taking office, what would you consider as some of the major achievements that or initiative that you're most proud of since you assumed office in 2022?
Well, I will say this. There are a lot of amazing developments that are happening in Ward 5. So, for example, the Cowan Recreational Center, that's what it's going to be called now, what we used to call Kirk, is millions of dollar funding that came in, and we were able to approve that, push that through, and it's currently being built, and we're hoping that completion will be done hopefully by next year. It's going to be the largest in terms of rec center in all of Waterloo region, and that is really exciting. Our newest community center, the Williams Community Center, was built during my time. Approval came in during my time as well.
Nice.
And very, very large facility for a lot of people living in the Rosenberg, Williamsburg area. Really excited about that. Net Zero Library as well, the newest library that is built in Kitchener, was built in Ward 5 as well. So quite excited, and we celebrate that achievement as well. Ward 5 is expanding and growing. We just did some rezoning, and we've unlocked land that will probably an opportunity for us to build up to 30,000 more homes within Kitchener. So we're looking at almost an entire city like Stratford being created over the next 10 years in Ward 5.
That's interesting.
Yeah, which is really, really exciting. We built a powerful newcomer strategy as well. It's I think it's only from my understanding what we've the research that we've gathered, only 2 cities across Canada right now has created a newcomer strategy, opening a department that focuses exclusively on ensuring that newcomers not just settle down. Our focus is not on settling down, it's to help them thrive. So we are working hand in hand with all the different partners to build a very robust newcomer strategy to ensure people are able to settle well. And that was something I advocated for repeatedly over the past few years, to ensure that that line item and that quote-unquote department is created to help us out. And there's so much more that needs to be done. Economic development, we're still working on that. We want to make sure that our businesses are thriving. We want to make sure we're supporting local, especially during this Trump tariff time period. Sorry, I'm time stopping your podcast.
No, it's great. It's okay.
We don't know how long that will last for, but at least we want to make sure we're supporting local people that own businesses, and we're supporting local people as well. So that I'm not saying it's perfect, but those are just a few of some of the accomplishments. We're working through our affordable housing strategy as well. We want to make sure we're able to. We've opened up a fourplex opportunity, so people can build a lot more in little land. So that we can provide more opportunities for people. Kitchener is growing at such a rapid pace. We have to do what we can to get ahead of it, so that we can do our part in ensuring the housing is affordable, and we're welcoming to our guests who are coming into our city.
That's really impressive. Some of these laudable achievements that you've reeled out within the last couple of minutes, particularly around the housing. Having to look at the community, especially within Ward 5, where we would have about 30,000 units spread over the next 10 years. I think that's super impressive. The Williamsburg Community Center is just a couple of minutes from where I live. I should check that out, since you've mentioned now that it's the biggest one. So I should go check it out and just see what's happening there. But again, we're really proud of these achievements that you've reeled out so far, and that's super, super exciting to hear. Now, again, as per you being a trailblazer, I just thought it was interesting to find out, what would you describe as your leadership style? What values guide you your decisions as a councillor?
My leadership style. Let me see. I tend to be more. I'm the guy that wants to try to connect with as many people as possible. That if I go to an event, I want to meet people, I want to talk to them, I want to connect with them. So I try to be a person of the people, a leader with the people, make sure I'm as connected and as close to them. There's a concept in Lean Six Sigma called being in the Gemba. Walking the floor with people, being frontline. Those are the things that I enjoy doing. Now, we might not all agree on everything, and when you are leading 300,000 people, it's not everything you're going to agree on. You're going to disagree on so many things. You're going to have difference of opinion, that type of thing. But I always strive to be, number one, listening. Number two, as connected as possible to the people. You will see me at events, walking around, talking, meeting people. A lot of people tend to have my phone number, that type of stuff. So I try to be as close and as connected to the people as possible.
Interesting. I mean, I can vouch to that, and that would definitely lead me to your to my follow-up question. You are quite hands-on when you are in gatherings. You seem warm, you seem personable, you seem like someone who people can easily walk up to. I mean, of course, for you to have won the election, you definitely must have had those traits and personalities. Now, leading me to that question, like, politics can be very consuming. How do you balance between your responsibilities at home and at work?
It's hard though.
I know, right? Because I see you. I mean, I go out a few times, and I see you practically every time that I go out in a function that involves Nigerians in the region of Waterloo, or even in private functions. They find a way to drag and councillor Ayo in, and I'm like, how does this dude even rest?
Very good question. Well, that's Grace. Well, I think I am the
correct answer.
That is the politically correct answer. Well, I would say that it is very hard. It is very hard, and it comes with the territory. You're not going to be able to please everyone. You just have to do the best that you can. So how do I balance it? I try to make sure I get my rest. Number one. Number two, when I keep my phone away from me a lot. Because if care is not taken, I could be on the phone for hours with people. If you notice, I usually will have a please text first approach, and Nigerians don't believe in please text. They want to
they want to actually speak.
It's hard to explain. I have to explain it to you on the phone. But what people don't realize is if 10 people want to talk to me and each conversation is 10 minutes long, that's over an hour. 40 minutes.
1 hour, 40 minutes already.
Yeah, just trying to talk to people, having conversations with people. So and the way we like to talk, where mommy call, daddy call, mom call, this one call, that go to the point.
Can we get to the point? Can we be specific?
Yeah, so I do try to create as much much boundaries as possible. It can be hard. It can be very frustrating. In fact, just last night I was at an event, just last night, and I had to leave at a certain point because I'm asked to come in 2 hours later. I'm still waiting for my turn. But I've been up since 4 a.m. and it was 9 p.m. at that point, and I'm still not on the agenda. And I just had to walk out, unfortunately. And you will not hear that story. What you will hear is Ayo is a terrible person.
He just left. Like we invited him. He just left. He didn't even let us know.
Exactly. But the other side of the story is I've been up since 4 a.m. You know, it's 9 p.m. I'm exhausted and I still have a long day the next day. So it's just one of those, it's hard to balance. And you do what you can to create boundaries. And when boundaries are not respected, then you have to make changes as needed. And yeah, take it from there. I remember there was a lady that would call and be asking for money a lot. She would just call, send message. Can you send me this money?
Excuse me, in this Canada, people are calling to ask for money. Are they calling from Nigeria or they're calling from this Canada?
They're calling from people call and ask for money a lot.
Whoa. I thought that would be like a trait that would have left behind at home.
People have asked me to help them pay school fees. They've asked for, you know, all sorts of things. And I mean, I'm not, by the way, nobody should take this out of context. I'm not putting anybody down if they have any financial need or anything like that. But I am one man. I am one man. So, and I'm sharing this with those that are thinking of running for office. It's part of the cross you have to carry. It's part of that burden that you have to wear. You know, people will not see the full side. Somebody comes to me and says, oh, you are not supporting my business. But I have bought from 10 businesses, you know, already. But you're saying I'm not supporting your business. You are the 11th at the event, and I've just paid $30 at a different booth. So you will only hear one side, oh, he doesn't support businesses, or he doesn't help people, you know. So it's just part of the, you have to be willing to, people will see you in different lights, and you just have to be fine with it. You just have to be comfortable with it, and stay focused, you know, pursue purpose, and, you know, do the things that need to be done to be able to create opportunities. You know, if I'm able to create an enabling environment where businesses can come in and they can open up opportunities for 10,000 businesses or jobs, I feel my job is done. You know, in comparison to other places where the mark of a successful politician is how much I can give you as an individual. No, the idea is supposed to be create an enabling environment for people to thrive so that they don't need me. You know, that's the idea. What should be done.
100%. And I mean, again, it's good to, sometimes I'm always like the biggest beneficiary when I'm having these interviews with people, because I always get to learn firsthand, even before I post these videos. But I'm so stunned to hear that people have huge expectations from you as a councillor and people in Canada have these huge expectations. I'm actually really surprised. And I think one thing you mentioned as when you were talking about some of the achievements that, you know, you've achieved as a councillor was also making people thrive. I think that essentially should be a focus in the sense that you're partnering with, you know, you're trying to have like a body where you can support immigrants and not just make them settle, but make them thrive. Those are like lifelong legacies. Because if you're coming into the country and you have to, instead of walking the road that others have walked and they made mistakes from, you can learn from other people. You can quickly get a job soon enough. I think it's definitely a major milestone, and it's definitely a lot better than being handed, you know, $30 today or pay my school fee today, and you know that approach is super better. So Anyways, we learn every day. That's interesting to note. Okay, so as we're about wrapping this up, we'll just quickly chime on again on family. I know that you've mentioned that it's really super sometimes difficult to balance, but how does family play? I mean, what role does family play in keeping you grounded amidst the demands of public life?
I mean, it's always great to, I always enjoy chatting with my children, talking to them. I feel like whatever they see in us gives them permission. Kids follow what we do, not necessarily what we say. So whatever we do gives them permission to do more. So it's always encouraging for me to talk to my kids, to see. I always enjoy watching them when they see me winning awards or winning one thing or another, or I'm on stage. I hope it makes them proud. I hope it's something that they can, hopefully in the future, as they grow and they have their children, they can be able to share about it. I know till today, my mother used to tell me of her father. You know, he was the first manager of one of the big companies in Ibadan. You know, this was as far back as the 40s. You know, it was one of the first big managers then. You know, when you hear things like that and how she used to speak so proudly of her father, you know, as far back as, you know, she's talking about, you know, back then, that was very encouraging. And I hope that we continue that through the generations. It's always, I always enjoy going to events with my wife. I always enjoy having conversations with her around things. These guys are all of them are very encouraging. My wife, my kids, they keep me going. They're all super smart. I always tell people my wife is 10 times smarter than me. And she's doing really amazing things in her career as well. So I think we keep encouraging each other and pushing each other to work harder, to do better together. So yeah, they're encouraging. They keep me grounded. They keep me focused, and I enjoy. I feel it's an honor to be a father to the kids and a husband to my wife.
That's so beautiful to hear. I mean, being supported by your wife and children, you know, being there, providing that enabling environment for you to be the Ayo that we see out there, and you know, and all of these demands that keep coming from. But that's really nice to hear. So I mean, I was listening to one of your podcasts that you've granted, I think, some years back, and then you were talking about how sometimes immigrants, specifically from Africa, or you know, immigrants generally, come into the country, and sometimes we try to maintain the same circles that we have that we're used to. You mentioned specifically of how in church maybe there was some groups, you and your wife, you decided to say, oh no, I needed to you know, like you're in Canada now, integrate into the system, know more about the people. Can you just shed a little bit of more light on that? I actually personally agree with that line of thought, but I just want you to, you know, give a little bit of clarity on, you know, to your point, immigrants come in and they just want to keep it the same circle, same stuff. They don't want to unlearn a lot of thoughts. How can people have like a shift of mindset with regards to integrating into the country, Canada?
Well, you left Nigeria or Ghana or whatever country you're from. Why leave if you're only going to try to recreate your Nigeria or Ghana here as well? You know, you've come to the country with the second largest, from my understanding, landmass in the world. You know, millions, 40 million people, great opportunities here. Different tribes, different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, different industries. Explore. You know, I'm not saying, and I think it's important to point this out. I'm not saying you do not connect with your people, do not work with your people, but I'm saying that there is so much more to just Nigerians in Canada. There's so much more to just Ghanaians in Canada. There's a lot more. So explore. There are people that are just like you, who are from other tribes, other backgrounds, other races. You know, go meet them. There are people that have access to information that you probably do not have. You know, there are people that are doing very well in certain industries. Go and learn from them. Don't hold yourself back mentally and just stay within the confines of just your tribe or your nation. You have an entire field to play with. And it takes a while for people to get to that mindset. The safe place is within your people. Absolutely. That's our safe space, our safe place. However, if you are a gift to the world, if you are a blessing to Canada, I would say play beyond that space. Play beyond that space. Get to meet people from other places, interact, appreciate other backgrounds, appreciate diverse thoughts and opinions. You'll be shocked by how much you can gain from it, how much you can learn from it, and how much they can also learn from you as well. So I think it's just a matter of, do you want to play in a small pond or do you want to play in an ocean? It's just a mindset shift thing, and it can help out a whole lot.
Thank you so much for shedding a bit of light. I definitely agree with you that, you don't want to play in a small pond. You want to be, in the ocean and, hobnob with other like minds, other people from other, countries, and share and learn a lot from them. So thank you for sharing that. Now, in just a couple of minutes before we wrap up, looking at Nigeria and Canada, what lessons do you think we can learn, from in terms of governance, in terms of civic engagement? What kind of experience or what kind of learnings can we learn from Canada, or from each other, as the case may be?
From each other, I would say the Nigerian spirit is a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. And I always enjoy going back to Nigeria because I always come back inspired. Young people doing amazing. From the minute you're playing last, someone is selling you something.
When was the last time you went to Nigeria?
3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
3 months ago, and I'm going again in 3 weeks.
In December. Oh, okay. December.
Yeah, so I go frequently. The entrepreneurial drive is massive. As well. Canada is, process driven, systems, years of history, and it's a wonderful place that embraces diversity, that invites diversity, and is open to it and not shy from it. We can learn from both sides. We should learn from both sides. Both sides have their good. Both sides also have their ugly side. No place is perfect. But we can definitely learn from both sides. And I think one of the beauties of our background is we can bring it here to be able to impart and do some great stuff here, while we also get to benefits from years and decades and centuries of land planning, of structures, of systems, and all of that. So I encourage everyone, appreciate the land. Don't talk bad. I've heard people say, Canada, but Canada. Stop using your mouth to spoil. Let's use our mouths to build up. Pray for the nation. Pray for the leadership. Pray for the politicians. Pray for the businesses. Do you really want to, every 10, 15 years, be running from one country to another?
It's not
pray for the peace and success of this and prosperity of this land, because this has become our home. And I think it's important that we don't forget that.
Wise words from Councillor Ayo. It's been such a pleasure to have you on the talk show. But I will not be wrapping up this interview without asking these final questions. What is your next political ambition in Canada?
I hear this question a lot. I don't know right now. I'm not sure. What I'm just trying to do is serve the people of Ward 5 as best as possible, and we'll let the future sort itself out. But for now,
answer again. Councillor Ayo, thank you so much for being a guest on Candid Conversations with Debo. Your story indeed is one of courage, service, and representation. Thank you for sharing your journey with us and for inspiring us with so much to believe, and of course for truly raising the flag and repping Nigeria in this this amazing stuff that you started politically in the region of Waterloo. Thank you again for being a guest on the Candid Conversations with Debo.
Thank you very much, Debo. It's such a pleasure being here. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a wrap now. And then guys, so this video will be available as always on YouTube, and then we'll try to put it up all streaming platforms, all podcast streaming platforms like Apple, Spotify, and wherever you find your favorite podcast. Until we meet again on our next episode, it's a wrap for now. Cheers and bye for now.